Alright, we are on the play here in match 5 of this league. Gonna mulligan, currently 2-2. Gonna mulligan again. No landers or not keeps with this deck. I suppose if you're on the draw and have some number of baubles and an otherwise very good hand, you can potentially justify keeping a no-lander. We're gonna keep this one. We've got a land, we've got a cantrip, we've got a spell we can't cast on top of the deck, so we're gonna put it on the bottom. Play out this Steam Vents. Hold up the Stubborn Denial, just in case that's relevant. Maybe the opponent's on turn 1 Faithless Looting, turn 1 Aether Vial, something of the sort. Glimmer Void, turn 1 Opal, they can actually pay for that, so we're not going to try to get that. Affinity, not a deck I'm excited to play against with this hand. There are very few decks I'm excited to play against with this hand, but you know, the extremely fast one, that's not really something I want to get matched with when I have a very slow hand. If we could counter, no, it's not going to be a cranial plating because they already tapped the land, so that's unfortunate. Looks like it's just going to be a clean scour. We found a bolt though, so that's nice. Milled an island, that's less nice. Top card is a Steam Vents. We probably are going to shock here. Hold up Mana Leak, go to the opponent. Stubborn Denial, not really likely to do anything good. Mana Leak might, depends on what the opponent plays. Lightning Bolt, a very good draw here. The second land, a very good draw here. The opponent goes to combat first. I like that a lot. We're going to take this hit because I want to hold up Mana Leak. The 2-point life swing, not as important as having Mana Leak available. At least from my perspective. Maybe I'm wrong, who knows. Main phase 2. I will bolt the Vault Scourge on the end step though if we don't use the Mana Leak. This is a Steel Overseer. We can either let that resolve and then bolt it, or we just Mana Leak it. Kind of like letting it resolve and bolting it because Affinity has a lot more impactful cards that I want to hit, aside from just this Vault Scourge. We hit a Snapcaster Mage, which could be really good once we hit another land drop. Actually, that'll be extremely good once we hit another land drop. If we hit another land drop. Gonna keep holding up that Mana Leak. See what the opponent's got. Arcbound Ravager, that's something I'm willing to leak. They might go land plating. That'd be really bad for us. But you know what? Ravager and plating are kind of the same card. Plating lets them be a bit faster. Ravager lets them be a little more resilient to removal. Ravager still puts on a big clock. Plating still makes them resilient to removal by making every Ornithopter a huge threat. But Ravager is, I think, slightly better against mid-range decks, whereas Plating is probably slightly better against fast decks. Serum Vision's going to be cast. Flooded Strand, good. Tarmogoyf, also good. Mana Leak's probably going to go to the bottom. The Goyf we're going to want as a clock eventually. Pretty unlikely we're going to get to Denial anything. We're also probably not casting the Snapcaster Mage here. We're even going to have to Fetch Shock to get our green source. Flooded Strand... I mean, if Flooded Strand was a Wooded Foothills, that'd be better. This is going to resolve. We're probably not going to show the opponent that we're playing green. That's a 4-4. These now have power. So we're going to take 3 here. The opponent's going to gain 2. We go to 11. We draw the Tarmogoyf. We fetch Shock. We end up at 8. We snap bolt one of these. We have to deal with this master. I guess we still have a chance to win. It's just really small. So technically we should still play towards our outs and not just scoop before they see green. Don't think we use the Snapcaster Mage just yet. So that's something. If the opponent looks like a devastating favorite before we go for Breeding Pool and Snapcaster Mage, maybe I will decide to just let it be and scoop. As is, I want to wait a little longer. They're animating stuff. That's going to make the master very big. Jeez. Okay, another Opal comes down. That's fine. I guess we could have played the Tarmogoyf and held up Stubborn Denial. That doesn't seem all that great. We're going to let the opponent attack here, and then we're going to decide what we do. So this Master of Ethereum is a 6/6. We can't snap Caster Mage, block it, and bolt it. Which means we're probably going to be bolting this Blink Moth. No, we would bolt the Vault Scourge, I think, because that's ever so slightly better. Chump this. We're going to take 1, 2, in fact, 2, 3 damage. We go to 8. We untap. We play Goyf. Goyf probably can't deal with this Master, but it might. And we'll have Stubborn Denial up. You know what? We're at 8, but we're fetch shocking to get the Breeding Pool, so we're actually at 5. 5 or 6. We take 3, we go to 8. We're at 5. The opponent's going to have a bunch of guys in the air, at least 2. It's extremely unlikely that we win this, but I don't think there's actually that much of an EV to gain from not showing them our Tarmogoyf. So I actually don't mind showing them green here. If we were just completely boned, I think I'm a little more likely to scoop. In this spot, we actually do have something of a chance, because we're going to chump this Master, cast this Bolt, deal with the Vault Scourge. If they have Galvanic Blast here, I'm going to be sad. Galvanic Blast definitely kills us. Yes. This being a 6/6 means Galvanic Blast definitely kills us. Well, it's Galvanic Blast. We can actually denial that, chump this, take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go to 3. No. I'm not going to show them any more cards. I am going to cast that Bolt, though. Take out Vault Scourge. They don't need any more life. And we are dead. Exact Seize for the opponent. Not that we were likely to survive that anyways. Alright, by the way, this is match 4 of the league. Don't know if I said that. Let's board against Affinity. See what we can do. Take out a few Hooting Mandrills. Take out Nux. Take out Shoal. Probably a non-zero amount of Thought Scour. All 3 to be exact. Mandrills, Nux, Thought Scour, Shoal, a Mana Leak, and a Stubborn Denial are going to be the cuts. Let's bring in Mountain, EE, Huntmaster, Artifact Hate, Sweepers, more Artifact Hate, cards that counter colorless spells. Did I do that right? It looks like I did that right. I'm starting to memorize stuff. That's good. Possibly bad if I end up in autopilot mode, but I think I like how we did that. It's how I suggest to myself that we do that. We're going to be on the play again. This hand is a lot better than the first one. Question is, are we going to start off on a Visions? I think we are. And I think it's going to be getting a Steam Vents with this Wooded Foothills. We can hold up Ceremonious Rejection here, but it's pretty unlikely that the opponent has one of the absolutely busted Affinity starts. And if they don't have one of the absolutely busted Affinity starts, we're at least somewhat punished for not just getting the Visions out of the way immediately. So I'm going to do this. Huntmaster and 4th land. Well, we drew the 4th land. The one we scryed was actually the 5th. We may as well cast this. I almost missed that. That would not have been ideal. I like ideal. The opponent starts on an Inkmoth, Ornithopter, Mox Opal. Should I have held up Ceremonious Rejection? Animate. To use the Mox Opal. That's not the worst. Thoughtseize. Ooh, that's pretty cool. They do run Thoughtseize. I've never seen an Affinity pilot boarded in against me. I imagine this is going to take Rejection. At which point, I'm going to take a look at your top card. You got information. I deserve information too. Etched Champion's something that really makes me want to draw a counter. Come on, Bauble. Find me a counter after this Huntmaster. Goyf. We just cast that. There's basically no doubt in my mind we cast that. Grab a basic forest. We coincidentally get to play around Blood Moon perfectly here. I guess we could have Tarfired this Ornithopter to hope that they just can't cast the Etched Champion. That may or may not be good. I'm not sure. They draw the champion. They know everything in our hand except for Huntmaster, which means 2 lands plus Tarfire. We're probably going to end up playing Breeding Pool tapped on our next turn unless we find a very good use for that forest. That would let us hold up the Tarfire while not shocking an additional time, which is something I like. Combat. Dude. Oh, they just don't have a 3rd mana source even without... Yeah, I totally forgot. That's awesome. That's something I should have noticed. Whoops. Well, Goyf's going to start getting in soon. We draw a Bauble. We're going to play it. Going to look at our top card to find out which land I want to play. Slightly vulnerable to another Thoughtseize. Not a huge consideration. We're drawing an extra card, and since we're drawing the card before the opponent's Thoughtseize kicks in, they can do stuff. I am kind of going to want to use that EE on 0 at some point soon. Gonna play the Breeding Pool tapped since there's not much for us to do. Get in with Goyf. I can't imagine they want to block that. I think they just need to hope that they keep that Ornithopter and hit more stuff. Now, one reason we would want to play out the EE is to blow up their Mox Opal and their Ornithopter. That's something I like quite a bit. The opponent's got Cranial Plating. That's not something we can counter. They can equip it to the Ornithopter. Oh, maybe we just go EE. EE on 2 kills Goyf. I don't think we're going to do that. This is a 3-2. Do I just take that? Or do I Tarfire it? If we EE on 0, we can blow up some artifacts. We probably won't be able to blow up enough that we can then Tarfire the champion. Taking this 2-3 damage seems okay. I guess if we Tarfire there, Goyf gets bigger. Goyf gets much bigger. They can't Inkmoth us out of nowhere. So I actually kind of like just playing out Huntmaster. Means we can actually just EE for 3 the champion if we decide to. Also gives us a pretty beastly clock if the opponent decides they want to get as aggressive as possible. Well, they hit more lands. They didn't have those not too long ago, so they must have drawn Inkmoth into Blinkmoth. Champion, sure. Champion into Swing with Ornithopter, and then equip the champion with the plating to keep Goyfs at bay. That's something I like. Oh, Galvanic Blast. That's also something I like. Well, Goyf's no longer kept at bay. The opponent has 1, 2... Oh, we can do it. They tapped out. We do it, right? We're going to lose this wolf. But we're going to take out Ornithopter and Mox Opal with the EE. They will then have precisely 2 artifacts. Because this is gone, this is gone. These can't be animated. They only have 2 artifacts. Etched Champion is turned off, and then we Tarfire it. That leaves us somewhat open to the manlands, but not very open. X is 0. Absolutely. Pay 2. Crack the EE. Metalcraft no longer shown. Tarfire that. Attack for 6. I think we just show them our entire hand. I want to play the Foothills because it gives us Delver Scry. Go to them. MTGO is not going to let us eat conveniently past priority because I have a fetch that I could crack. Okay, well, this game is a very nice sample that makes me enjoy EE a lot more in this matchup. I didn't think EE on 0 would be usually as good as it just was, and if that's indicative of how things would go, I'm pretty high on EE. I don't think we change anything for being on the draw against Affinity. Makes me kind of wish I could support Disrupting Shoal for 2, but I don't think we change anything on the draw for Affinity. Oh, looks like the opponent... Oh, maybe not. That might have just been lag. I always like it when the timer continues ticking down after we've submitted, because it means the opponent's doing stuff still. Alright. That's actually pretty good. I'm going to keep this. This hand's kind of gas. They mull to 6, we're going to keep. This hand has the tools. It basically needs the lands. We're on the draw, we've got Bauble, we've got Visions, we can probably find the lands. We might not be able to. We might not be able to afford to give up our tempo. The opponent went land go. Now they did mulligan. If this was a 7 and the opponent kept land go, I would absolutely expect a busted turn on 2. However, they mulled to 6, so it's entirely possible the opponent just didn't want to mull further, or maybe 5s with Affinity are really bad. That's something that makes me kind of want to start off on Serum Visions. You know what? We have this Steam Vent, so we're not going to do that. If we didn't draw the land, starting on Serum Visions seems a lot more enticing. As is, we drew the land. I kind of don't want to use the Bauble because I'd prefer being able to use that to transform Delver. Is this a 2-mana spell that we can Spell Snare? That would make me pretty happy. It's a 1-mana spell that we can't Spell Snare. That makes me a lot less happy. I'm going to give up having double blue, I think, so that I can get a Stomping Ground and bolt this. I actually kind of want to just get a second Steam Vents with that. That way we can go Serum Visions plus more stuff. Or we get a Breeding Pool and we allow this Signal Pest to exist. That's not the worst. Fetch a land tapped. Let's do that. Pop out the graveyards. Don't know when we're casting this Delver of Secrets, so I think I'm going to use this Bauble now. Rest in peace for the opponent. Okay. That's not something I would have expected out of Affinity. Alright, Bolt Effects. So, do that. Going to... I think we just cast Delver. I want to hold up the Spell Snare. We can Tarfire if we decide that's something we want to do. We can theoretically spell snare a Rest in Peace, which is probably worth it. The opponent's got a lot of very good 2-drops that I'm looking to spell snare, but you know what? We have a lot of Tarmogoyfs and 1 Mandrills in our deck. Ravager, okay, well that's worth hitting. Or hear me out. We don't hit it. No, they can animate these. We're gonna hit it. If they were tapped out, I would totally let that resolve. Probably bolt the Signal Pest first, untap, bolt the Ravager. That'd be pretty nice. Delver of Secrets, not going to transform off of a Delver of Secrets. It is going to attack, though. And do we play out the second Delver of Secrets? Kind of like that a lot. I also like that we're having a very graveyard light draw. Specifically because I know the opponent's got a Rest in Peace in hand, which we should probably pop out. Spire of Industry for the opponent. Looks like it's the rip. Ooh, that's actually okay because we have all the bolt effects we could want. They can only equip that to one thing. And it's probably going to be Signal Pest. Oh, Ravager. That could hurt. That could hurt. Makes me want to bolt the Signal Pest now. Yep. Get that done. Oh, my lord. A couple more land drops and we can EE on 2. Wooded Foothills not going to be revealed. However, Wooded Foothills going to continue to not be revealed. Second, I guess Delvers don't talk to each other. Second Delver doesn't realize. Maybe. I think we actually are just going to bolt this Arcbound Ravager, which I'm pretty well just entirely okay with because we drew another thing, another red source. So we're going to do that. Get in for 2. The Delvers that could, ladies and gentlemen. Second red seems better than second blue. I'm going to get a Mountain. Cast this Visions. The opponent's last card. Wow. Just wow. All the burn spells. The opponent's last card is Rest in Peace. Not a lot of shuffle effects in Affinity. No longer their last card. They're going to pay some costs. It's the rip. Well, Traverse just got a lot worse. Could always just use it to find an island, though. Actually, I'd probably use it for a forest. That's going to get animated. Oh, okay. Why did they animate it? I don't know. I'm confused. Do you know? Feel free to let me know if you know, because I am lost. Okay. Sure. They just wanted to use all their mana? I'm going to transform these guys real quick off of Visions. Cast the Visions, draw Forked Bolt, take out Signal Pest, 1 to the Dome, hold up this Lightning Bolt. And see what... Actually, no, I won't see what we draw because that's it. The Forked Bolt is what we're drawing. We're just doing nothing with our Steam Vents after. Visions, yup. Okay. Yup. Okay. That should help us to make short work of the opponent. I mean, yeah. I'll just keep on scrying. I'm okay with that. This is the only creature they can Forked Bolt, so I'm cool with using it right now. Knock the opponent down to 9. Oh, hey, that bolt is lethal if they don't block these Delvers. That's something I'm interested in. The opponent with 1 card, I should probably collapse this. The opponent no longer has 1 card. They played it. It's an Ink Moth. That's not really bad. I actually like that. If they go too deep here, though, we're going to punish them hard. I imagine they're going to animate something. Or they could just get in for 3. They animate that, okay. This means they have no blocks. Why? Oh, it's an artifact. That's why they did it. But they didn't cranial plating last time. So we're going to take 5 Infect here, and I kind of like this out of our opponent. I actually kind of like this attack because it puts us on a pretty quick clock, which I think is something they want to do here. Unfortunately for the opponent, we have a Bolt in hand, which means we're going to untap, swing with both, put them to 3, and then Bolt face. I'll take 5 Infect. That's something I'm totally okay with. Another thing I kind of don't like about that is I could just keep Delvers back, and suddenly I can trade with their manlands, specifically the Ink Moths. I guess it makes more sense to go all in on Ink Moth than Blink Moth, since they only have 1 of these and they have 2 of these. But anyways, that'll do. 3-2, not bad. I am perfectly okay with that because we had a lot of really good matches this league. That was non-stop fun. We beat Affinity both times. So there you go. That's something to cheer for. And you know what? We didn't have to pay for the next one. I was on the last of my ticks because of the because of these 2 beautiful cards. I used the last of my ticks for that league, and we just got play points. So you know what? We're in for another, and that's a win, ladies and gentlemen. That is a win. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one.